Saikyou welcomed Amu when they crossed paths on the way to school, but she responded to him coolly, which perplexed Saikyou a bit. After drifting apart from Amu, he and Ifa got into a paint-related incident, but Saikyou managed to escape. It turned out that Professor Gordel was the offender. He tried to shift the pot of blood but unintentionally hurled it out the window as the magic got out of hand. As it turned out from the professor's account, it was not paint, but the blood of monsters. The professor gave Amu and Ifa instructions to accompany the new student to the Rodnia forest so they could bless him. Saikyou faced the formidable adversary, a demon by the name of Ghoul. Here, Saikyou requested that Ifu turn down this request. Because Ifa was aware of everything, she paid no heed to this. Saikyou doesn't work for free. Amu looked to Ifa to be in Saikyou's taste and to be a bit hooked to him, but he made her happy by expressing that he merely wants to be friends with her since she is so powerful, to which Ifa cautiously replied that she would get stronger. Saikyou said that everything was okay and pledged to stop doing things that would have others criticize him. The day of adoration has come. They were having a conversation when suddenly Amu felt something, which also caught Saikyou's attention. It turned out to be a magic circle, and as soon as they got close enough to it, they were transported to the dungeon where they were immediately surrounded. Saikyou was quite happy when Amu quickly charged into battle and nearly immediately destroyed her adversaries. The attacker immediately approached Amu from behind as she briefly relaxed, but Saikyou cast a spell that protected her from harm. Saikyou stated that it would be worthwhile to wait for reinforcements, but Amu indicated that he should not be anticipated because the survival rate in such a circumstance is very low and no one will seek for anybody. The two of them then began to explore the dungeon in search of an exit. After using amulets to illuminate the road, which pleased Amu, Saikyou started to mark his path with talismans so that the Shikigami from the outside could locate him. The Kitsune suddenly sensed a threat coming from the front, but Amu rushed into battle and paid the price for it right away. Immediately going to the rescue, Saikyou used the call of a huge centipede to open his opponent. Amu woke up and was startled that her wounds had been healed. Amu asked Saikyou a few awkward questions about Ifa. In response, Saikyou inquired about Amu's family. Amu replied that she loves to fight, which caused others to fear her because they thought she was obsessed with battles. Amu enrolled at the school with the goal of gaining strength and self-control so she could eventually become normal like the rest of the students. In response to her inquiries about how much she enjoys fighting and whether he thought she was strange in light of recent events, Saikyou responded, "Not at all." He went on to add, "Saikyou," he also clarified that she enjoys not only to fight, but also to have glaring conversations, for which he immediately received a slap in the face. It is time to proceed. Saikyou and Amu started to push past the throngs of foes to get to the exit, but when they got there they encountered the end of the dungeon. Amu made the offer to leave. "Boss. Naga is a serious porter," Saikyou replied, adding that the two of them were successful in defeating this foe. The battle started when Saikyou took a step and was met by a spit of poison. This made Saikyou pause, and Amu decided to support him with an air attack. Saikyou then took the next step, attacking with metal magic, pinning the enemy to the ground and asking Amu to shoot a Nage fireball in the head, which allowed him to strike the decisive blow. Amu fully lost herself and clung to Saikyou after the triumph. Saikyou was aware of the location of the exit, but instead of going there, he chose to play about and try out Amu's abilities. It's time to gather the loot, and in the treasure chamber they discovered her and the hand that had been pierced by the sword. As soon as the weapon was taken away, the hand was worn out. They headed to the school to inform their instructor about everything, except art. Professor Gordel was highly astonished to learn that Amu was still feeling well when Saikyou later returned. Saikyou also accused the professor of being responsible for all of the recent happenings, which the professor did not dispute. Saikyou appreciated the professor's curse, calling it a masterpiece. The professor gladly received the compliment, but he was forced to dismiss all of the witnesses. The curse was placed on the talisman rather than Amu, and it was also placed on everyone who was covered in demon blood, according to Saikyou, who notified the professor that Amu was not under the curse. The professor was perplexed when Saikyou called a demon, murdered him, covered himself in blood, and became the target of a curse. However, the perplexity vanished as soon as Saikyou finished. The repercussions did not wait for the curse professor to recognize that it was directed in his way. Leaving Saikyou once again in awe of the professor's expertise and his ability to rebuild the curse from scratch after all of them had been lost with the demise of Onmyouji magic, Saikyou gave Ife the ring he had been given in the prison. This instantly grabbed the spirit's attention. When he welcomed Amu, she responded coldly as usual and began speaking to Ep4 and thanked her for what she had been able to accomplish to her the day before.